Craven has bemoaned what he felt was biased media coverage of all the events of the night of the State of the Nation address. He says the media across the whole spectrum virtually ignored the content of the speech made by President Jacob Zuma. He praised the president for the 23 billion rand shot in the arm to aid struggling energy utility Eskom. He spoke to the SABC about his overall impression of last night's event.
Not much has been discussed about the positives of the speech, if one may say so. What are the central points that you think as COSATU that the president has touched on?
Yes, you're absolutely right. The media has virtually ignored the speech, both the positives and the negatives, because COSATU's view, unfortunately, is that there were a lot of negatives. Overall, we were disappointed. In our statement of expectations, we said that at the heart of the speech must be our huge crisis of unemployment, poverty and inequality. We didn't get that at all. The words poverty and inequality weren't even mentioned, totally ignored. And unemployment was only made a passing reference to, and one which in our view was quite misleading, because it quoted the figures for the last quarter of 2014, where there was a slight drop in unemployment, in order to give the impression that we're now on the right track, unemployment's going down. Whereas even Statistics South Africa themselves, who produced that report, warned that it could be a one-off because of the holiday period, seasonal agriculture and so on. And the huge problem we have still remains. We're still the 8th worst country in the world when it comes to unemployment. And poverty. It's even more surprising in a way that he should ignore that, because only a few days ago, Statistics South Africa again produced a report which showed that more than half of all South Africans are living in poverty. Now surely a president in his State of the Nation speech should mention that and say what he's going to do about it. And the main thing that we want to see done, the national minimum wage, again was virtually ignored. It was just mentioned in passing, and he was even talking about considering a national minimum wage, which in our view it's government policy. You can't consider it. We're now involved in how to implement it. And on a number of other issues we were disappointed. We've been waiting a long time for a report on the National Health Insurance Scheme. No mention.
Nothing came
feature
up
at all.
23 billion rand for revitalizing power utility Eskom. Your views? Do you think this is a sustainable plan?
In our view, that was the best part of the speech. Clearly, there is a huge amount of feeling about this, and the president did recognize that and respond to it. And we certainly appreciate what he said he's going to do. But as with any State of the Nation plan or promise, we need to see how well it's actually implemented, particularly these deadlines for the new power stations, which are mentioned every year, and yet the dates keep getting put back and put back. I hope the government does now fully realise the urgency, both in the short term to put a stop to load shedding, but also the long-term changes which will ensure that we never have this sort of crisis again.
As COSATU, how do you go back to engage government to say you quoted wrong figures in the State of the Nation address, and how do you correct that? Well,
we put out a statement when the Treasury put out their statement giving these figures, so we've already responded. And the government chose not to take account of what we said, and we shall keep on saying it at any opportunity through our alliance structures or wherever.
That was Craven, COSATU spokesperson, talking to us on the heels of the State of the Nation address by President Jacob Zuma. Watch the full interview later on Your World at 9 p.m.